I believe as women, we are so disconnected from our intuition, which is our superpower. We have amazing superpowers when it comes to trusting yourself. But we've been conditioned to neglect our needs for the sake of others.
Before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to remind you that this is the last call. It's the last call to fill out your application for the Alive coaching experience. Head on over to heatherchauvin.com/alive. That's Heather Chauvin, spelled CHAUVIN.com/alive, ALIVE. Inside of Alive, you are going to get immediate access to my energetic time management process. This is going to show you how to reverse engineer how you want to feel in every area of your life, giving you more time, more energy, and more focus. And not only that, we're going to dive deep into our emotional intelligence, showing you how to handle all life stressors when it comes to you. So head on over to heatherchauvin.com/alive. We start September 1st. Yes, and we will not be opening the doors for this program for the rest of the year. heatherchauvin.com/alive. That's your next baby step. This is you taking action to live a life that's in alignment with how you want to feel, so you can become the role model and become the adult your children need. I don't believe freedom is more time or more money. I believe time and money are tools when used correctly. But true freedom to me is giving myself permission to lean into my desires. Hello, ladies, and I am so excited to share what we are calling the best of summer episodes. And what I decided to do, I want to give you a little background information. What I decided to do was really get clear on how do I want to feel in my life this summer. And reflecting on my kids' ages and where I'm at in my business and just the time and the space that I want, that I don't need to ask anyone for their permission. So then I have to take action and I have to communicate my needs. So what we decided to do is create some space for the rest of the summer. And so what you're going to be hearing over the next few weeks is the best of podcasts. So these are some of my hand-picked podcasts, some of my favorite interviews that I've had, and really good conversations. And if you have already listened to these episodes and it's popping back up in your feed and you're listening to this, I highly encourage you to listen again, because you just never know what kind of gems you are going to hear. It's like reading a book again and again and again and getting something different every single time that you're listening. I also wanted to remind you that if you heard about the Energy Finder quiz, go take that and send me a message on Instagram. So I might not be podcasting, but I'm popping in and out of social. So go find me on Instagram at Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN. Send me a private message and let me know what were the results that you got on your Energy Finder quiz. And I hope wherever you are in the world, you are giving yourself permission to create freedom in your life. Time freedom, emotional freedom, going for your dreams, even if it scares the crap out of you, creating the connections that you want and desire with your family, but also doing the wildly emotionally uncomfortable work to come back to yourself and be present even when other people don't agree with your actions. You are worthy of feeling good, and you are also worthy of healing the relationships that you desire to create in your life. So happy summer and enjoy today's episode.
Hey ladies, I'm back, and today I'm going to do a Q&A straight from the community. So I got this question messaged to me via Instagram. Okay, Heather, when feelings arise, how do you figure out the difference between what you think you want and the information you are being fed by others? Which do you believe, how you feel, or what your mind is saying? Okay, so this is a really good one. I get it all the time, especially when people are stuck in the first phase, because I find that there's many phases, but the first phase of manifesting, or the first phase of creating the life that they want, or relationships, whether it's in parenting, business, career, money, time, energy, like any area of your life, including parenting, because people think that's like some weird, like, relationship that, the same rules don't apply, which I totally disagree with. So here's the thing. You need to know what you want. And so I may say that to you and you're going to be like, yeah, but Heather, how do I know if what I want is mine or if what I, want is somebody else's? So you really have to be open and ask yourself, one, do I have a tendency to be codependent on other people? And how you know you're codependent on other people is when that person is not around, you might freak out a little bit. You might notice like you feel very uncomfortable when you are not with your children. And what I mean by that is you don't know what to do with yourself. You are always looking for permission or validation from others. And we all do that. I do that too. But really, you will not move forward with something without someone else's permission or validation. I see that a lot in partnerships and relationships. There's a fine line between somebody supporting you and somebody saying, if you do this, like, we're getting a divorce or whatever. So I'm just going to unpack this a little bit. Okay, so when feelings arise, how do you figure out the difference between what you think and what information is being fed to you by others? Okay. When I am quiet with myself and I take out my journal, and I know you all resist journaling, but it's the best thing for you, and you go pen to paper and you write, I want, I desire, I crave, and pick whatever journal prompt you want. It could be I want, it could be I desire. And you just start writing. Like, put a 10-minute timer on and just write for 10 minutes. Some of that might be fed from other people, and some of that might be fed from your soul. And I get you, because so much of who I am as a woman, a lot of that is fed culturally, right? Like, you have to look a certain way, you have to feel a certain way. And even though I bump up against like the beliefs of what culture is being fed to me, there's things that I really enjoy. Example, I really enjoy, I want to feel good in my skin, meaning I want to look good. I want my legs to look good. Well, whose definition, like, who defines that? Right? Is it me or is it society? And so much of what we've been fed as women and who we need to be comes from the expectations of others. So there's a part of that is unpacking it. And there's an evolution here. Where before I would say, I want to look this way and I'm going to like be all in and restrictive and blah, blah, blah. Now I'm like, I want to feel a certain way. And as long as I keep going after that feeling, my body will change, but it's the feeling that I'm really after. So I have to take the action that's towards the feeling. So just understand that some of what you want may be from other people's expectations. It may be from that. But this is where getting quiet with yourself really comes in handy, because this is a layering process. Oftentimes when I start working with people, they will say, I know exactly what I want and I'm going to go for it. And then they start to go for it and something shifts. And I was like, what happened? And they're like, this is not what I wanted. I realized that I was going after this dream because that's what I thought I had to go after, or that was my belief around success, or that was my husband wanted me to do this. My partner wanted me to do this. I find a lot of people in the online world, because they don't like their 9-to-5 job, well, not people in the online world, but they think like my life is all rainbows and kitty cats because I podcast and I do coaching and I work from home. But I'll tell you right now, when you work from home and you're staring at a computer screen all day, like you have some deficiencies, which is human connection. And so you got to compensate other ways. You got to get your ass out of bed. You got to be self-motivated. You got to do deep inner work. I also don't get a pension. I am self-employed. So, I'm also a breadwinner. I'm the one who needs to make the money. So I need to constantly look at my shit and show up and be creative. But here's the thing. The grass is not always greener on the other side. So I guarantee you some of the things that you want and desire are coming from a place of ego as well. And expectation from other people. And so which do you believe? So here's my ultimate secret. So your second part of your question is, which do you believe and how you feel or what your mind is saying? I'm also a feeler. I'm intuitive. I'm a feeler. I'm sensitive. I'm compassionate, empathetic. And I also have this fiery, don't fuck with me side, but I am not a logical thinker. I do not care about ROI. ROI to me, which means return on investments, like spreadsheets and like, I need to know the data. That is not me. That's not how I think. I'm a feeler. If something feels good, so I'll give you an example. If I write on my list, like I desire, travel. Well, where do you travel to? And my husband says, we're going to go to this country. We're going to go here. And my gut says, I don't want to go there. I'm going to listen to my gut and I'm going to voice that. I'm going to speak it up. And I'm going to say, honey, why do you want to go there? My gut, something's off here. And I will problem solve through my gut. If my head says, just do what he says, like, just keep him quiet and happy, I'm always going to listen to my gut. So I always listen to my gut. And it's not an always yes or no answer. It's like, sometimes I got to do problem solving. Now, I'm going to use this example with children because people always get screwed up when it comes to parenting strategies. And it's the most common question I get when like, did I do this right? Did I not do this right?
Hey, I wanted to interrupt today's podcast to talk about our sponsor, Athletic Greens. I started using AG1 about a month ago after they reached out to me, and I thought, let's give it a try. I got rid of coffee. I am like 30 days in with no coffee. I have been on this kick for a really, really long time. And I will tell you, you don't necessarily need to kick coffee in order to incorporate AG1 into your daily routine. What I'm saying is it's life enhancing. And for me, it has been a game changer for my gut, my energy, and how I feel mentally. I've been using it, like I said, for about 4 weeks and I love it. It doesn't have a super like healthy taste to it. It's like a mild tropical taste. And I'm really looking forward to it. With 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole foods sourced, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. It does all the things. So what I typically do is in the morning, I wake up and I have my gallon of water waiting for me. Yes, I drink almost a gallon every single day. That's my goal. And I pour my first liter into my mason jar and I add a scoop of my Athletic Greens even before I eat, and I chug it. And sometimes I even put it in the boys' smoothies and they have no idea. Athletic Greens was created when the founder experienced a ton of gut health issues and ended up on a complicated supplement routine to recover. And it cost him over $100 a day. That's ridiculous. And I've totally been there. So he created Athletic Greens after experiencing how difficult it was to create an optimal nutrition routine on his own. It's cheaper than getting all the different supplements for yourself, and you can make it like a micro habit and part of your daily lifestyle. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune boosting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/EU. EU for emotionally uncomfortable. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/EU. Athletic Greens, AthleticGreens. athleticgreens.com/EU. To take ownership over your health, pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. All right, now back to our interview.
I believe as women, we are so disconnected from our intuition, which is our superpower. We have amazing superpowers when it comes to trusting yourself. But we've been conditioned to neglect our needs for the sake of others. So when we've neglected our needs, we become numb and our intuition doesn't work anymore. And it does, but it's just like, this bitch ain't listening to me, so therefore I'm not going to listen to her anymore. Or I'm not going to give her any information. So you have to listen and act and be curious. And so part of this process, to answer your question, is you have to be curious and you have to have experiments with yourself. So and I do this in business all the time because you can get shiny object with anything. If I'm starting a project and I'm like, oh my God, this lights me up. Yes, yes, yes. And then people are telling me 5 different ways that I can do this project. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get, shiny object syndrome and I'm going to go all over the place. I feel into it. Sometimes I literally write everything down on a piece of paper and I just close my eyes and I feel into it. I'm like, which direction feels best? And I might get, an intuitive hit. I might get like, oh, go this direction. Great. I'll go that direction and I experiment. How does that feel when I'm going in that direction? Another example of this, and answering your question, is food and fitness. I am by no means not a fitness expert, not a food expert. I'm just an everyday woman who wants to feel good in her body and is trying to figure her shit out. But the industry has tainted the messaging. The diet industry has fucked women up and has screwed us up mentally and physically. So how do you eat? Are you supposed to do keto? Are you supposed to be vegan? Are you supposed to be paleo? Are you supposed to do this diet, this way of eating, or this way of eating? What is right? If I do it this way, does that mean I'm wrong? So when you ask me, and this has truly helped me, so I hope this is helping you. When feelings arise, how do you figure out the difference between what you think and the information you're being fed by others? So this year, at the beginning of the year, I was talking a lot about food and fitness. I had to let go of what everyone else is telling me, and I had to start asking myself what feels good. And I had to test things out. I had to challenge myself. So whether that was, what I started doing is just educating myself about like all these different ways of eating. Also realizing, back in the day, before the internet, before cookbooks, before all this bullshit, like there was no food industry. You grew your vegetables, you ate your vegetables. You grew cows, you ate your cows. You raised chickens, you ate your chickens. And it varies within cultures as well, because cultures and climates. So there's so many beliefs that people have been feeding us for years and years and years that we're just like, I don't know what to think anymore. So then I test and challenge myself and I see how I feel. So this year instead of jumping full blown into some crazy way of eating and feeling restrictive and like I can't have ice cream with my kids, or I, can't have a few bags of chips. Oh my God. Handfuls of chips. I just decided I'm going to do what feels good. And I'm going to ask myself what's really going on here. And I decided I'm going to eat, protein, like animal protein, but eliminate what doesn't feel good, which is like dairy, doesn't agree with me, and eat lots and lots and lots of vegetables and, get some healthy fats in there and try to have a balanced plate and whatever. But in the moments, constantly just asking myself, is this in alignment with how I want to feel? So I let go. I mentally had to let go of, I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this wrong, and trust myself. And the more you lean into trust, the more you say, does this feel good to me? Does this feel good to me? It's a vulnerable state. So I know I'm rambling on answering your question, but the answer is, I don't know the answer for you. This is what has worked for me, and it feels good. And I'm at a place of contentment where I feel like I'm a good enough mother. Are my children going to become like the next, NHL stars, like all Canadian parents believe their children are going to be? No. Do they play hockey? Yeah. Do they enjoy, other sports? Yes. But do we also enjoy just chilling out as a family and not overpacking our schedule? Yes. Am I raising them, emotionally correctly? I don't fucking know. I probably swear too much, and that's going to screw them up. All I know is things are going well, and their behaviors are not indicating to me that anything is wrong. And everybody's getting along and things are going great. Now, life is temporary. So maybe in another season or age gap, things will change. And so I just have to trust that what I'm doing is good enough. I'm headed in the right direction. I'm paying attention to red flags. I'm not avoiding anything in my life. And if I am, I don't avoid it for, forever until it blows up in my face. And so I listen to my mind, but my gut always wins. The feeling always wins over my mind. And I try to unpack that. So I hope today was helpful. I hope this podcast was beneficial for you and you gained value from it. If I have made an impact in your life, if you have listened to a podcast and you were like, oh my gosh, this woman has drastically shifted who I am, I want to know. And I don't just want to know to feel good about myself. I want to know that, what was it that I said or that you took action on, or a snowball, or maybe it was an interview that I did with somebody and then you started following that person and you started working with them and it drastically changed your life. I want to know what that was for you.
Before I found Heather, life felt hard. I felt stuck. I had a newborn baby. I felt that I had to get my stuff in order to be the best mom for her. And with that, I was also at a corporation that I was not happy at. I was to the point where every day I woke up and would just cringe that I had to go to work. I was angry. I was very angry. Everybody around me walked on eggshells. I would come home and just constantly yell. I had this feeling inside me that there was more, and I had no idea what that was. And so when I found Heather's podcast, and this woman was just so raw and real and no BS, I thought to myself, holy smokes, like, is this a real thing? Can you really help somebody doing this? Can this be my life? Can I have this ease? Can I have this joy? Can I have this time freedom, financial freedom? I wish I would have asked for help sooner. Heather's no BS approach and just coming up to me and being like, hey, this is the life that you want. This is what you said you wanted. You can't run away from these things. You have to go through to get to the other side. And so that was the biggest aha for me, was that I am in control of my life and I am in control of my future and everything around me. Trust your gut.
you don't know what you don't know. And so investing in someone and in a program holds you accountable to a level that you never even thought possible. One of the very first mindset shifts that I had around investments as myself is that I can always create more money, but I cannot create more time. And then as far as, fear of failure, we all feel like we're going to fail. And facing that fear head on and being with a group of women and a coach who knows how that feels really helped me see that we just learn to fail forward in a very short amount of time. My husband started to see improvements, and there hasn't been a day that we haven't been thankful that I took the leap and joined the program.